Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mina and today's video is going to be a fun little booktube tag that I found online. This one is called the Reading Habits book tag. So basically I'm going to be answering some questions about my reading habits so that you guys can get to know me a little bit better, and also if you guys are interested I will link the questions below in the description so you can answer them as well in the comments, or you can make a video and do it yourself. This is also a really exciting video because I'm going to introduce you guys to our two new little kittens that we just got last weekend. It has been a crazy week of having kittens for the first time. We got two twin brothers and they're just absolutely adorable. I love them so much. They're crazy, wild, super playful, and they have a lot of personality, so I'm excited to introduce you guys to them, and you'll probably be seeing them throughout my reading vlogs and in other videos in the future. So let me go ahead and show you guys. So this little guy over here is Ninja, and he is super squirmy, as you guys can tell. He doesn't like to be on camera, but they are 6 weeks old. I think he may be the older of the two twins just because he's always like bullying his little brother, but I absolutely love him. He's a cutie. He doesn't like to be snuggled as much, and he's more independent than his brother is. That was Ninja. And this right here is my baby Yoda. He loves to snuggle. He loves to cuddle before he goes to sleep, and he's just such a cute little precious baby. Ninja's in the background going crazy. He also doesn't like to be on camera, but he's a cutie. You're a cutie. He's the one who gets bullied a little bit more than Ninja when they're like play fighting. He's the victim and Ninja is the aggressive one. But they are both just adorable. I absolutely love them, and I feel like our lives have forever changed now that we have two little babies in our home. Now that you guys are introduced to our lovely new kittens, I'm going to go ahead and start answering the questions for the Reading Habits tag. There are 11 questions. So question number 1 is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? So I have a few places that I feel comfortable reading. Usually on the couch I will like to read. I also like to read in bed, and sometimes I will read in my husband's office on the recliner chair. But those are like the 3 main places that I do my reading at home. Question number 2 is bookmark or random piece of paper. I'm definitely a random piece of paper type of person. I don't have many bookmarks, and the ones that I do have, I feel like I lose them all the time. So whatever random piece of paper is around me, I will just pick that up and use that to save my place. You can see that in my most recent read. I've got like a pay stub to save my page. So yeah, any random piece of paper. Question number 3, can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? So this really depends for me. Sometimes I will set myself like a page number goal. I want to read 50 pages, and so I'll make sure that I stop after the 50 pages, or I want to stop at page 100, so I'll make sure that I stop at page 100. But if I don't set myself that kind of goal, I can really just stop anywhere depending on. Baby Yoda was getting bullied, so I had to save him from the fight because he was whining a little bit. You okay? You okay? So, I don't even remember what I was saying, Baby Yoda. You be careful out there. So if I don't set myself that kind of goal, I can basically just stop whenever I feel like stopping. Sometimes I remember myself like stopping in the middle of a page, which is kind of ridiculous, but if I'm like distracted by something or I realize I have to do something, I can just like stop wherever I am and pick up exactly where I left off. Question number 4 is, do you eat or drink while reading? So I definitely do drink while reading. I'll drink cold brew, I'll drink water, but I don't eat while I read just because I feel like I'll focus only on whatever snack or whatever I'm eating rather than the actual book. So that will be a distraction for me. And also, I really don't like to mess up my books or get anything on them. So I'm always cautious about getting any like food or stains on my books. So I definitely don't eat while I read, but I do drink. Question number 5, multitasking. Do you listen to music or watch TV while reading? I do not do this. Like I said, get distracted easily when I'm reading, so I tend to just like quiet and calm, peaceful environments when I'm reading. I definitely cannot read while listening to music. I guess unless the music doesn't have lyrics, sometimes I can hear it in the background, but nothing too loud, but I don't do it often. Also, watching TV, if there's something on in the background and it's very low and it's not something that I'm really interested in watching, I can read in that type of environment, but I prefer just reading reading silently. Question number 6 is one book at a time or several books at once. I definitely like to focus on one book at a time because I have tried to juggle multiple books at once and I find myself getting confused with characters or mixing plot points. So usually I'll focus on one book at a time. There have been times where I will start a book and then I will pick something else up. So it technically is like I'm reading 2 books at once, but there will be one that I prefer over the other, so I'll kind of just focus on that and then go back to the other one. So it's never really like a consistent reading multiple books at the same time. Question number 7 is reading at home or everywhere. So right now, since we're still in quarantine, I'm definitely only reading at home most of the time. And even when we weren't in quarantine, I would also usually just read at home. However, I did sometimes go to like Barnes & Noble and read there, or Starbucks and read there, but I feel more comfortable and like more at peace reading in my own house. Question number 8 is reading out loud or silently in your head. I mostly read silently in my head unless I'm like home alone. Sometimes I will read something out loud just because it's a fun experience, but it'll only last for like a page or 2. It takes more energy to obviously read something out loud, but I will mostly just read silently, maybe like move my mouth a little bit, but I won't actually say anything out loud. Question number 9 is do you read ahead or even skip pages? I actually do not do that. I am the type of reader that feels like I have to read everything. Otherwise, I will feel lost or I'll feel like I'm missing some important information unless there's like a particularly disturbing or like problematic scene that I just feel like is unnecessary to the plot and I can skip through it. Most of the time, I will read everything. Question number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. I do like to keep my books as clean and new as possible. I prefer hardcover, so can't really break the spine with a hardcover, but the paperbacks that I do own, I try to keep them in as good condition as possible. Obviously, sometimes when you're traveling or you need to take your book somewhere, it gets a little bit messed up and I won't like beat myself up for that, but as much as possible, I try to keep my books in good condition. And lastly, question number 10 is do you write in your books? I don't write in my books when I'm reading for fun, which is like mostly the reading that I do now. However, when I was in school or if there was ever something that I had to read for work, for teaching, obviously I would take notes on that because it's something that has a different purpose, like I'm reading for a different purpose. So taking notes, highlighting, adding post-its or things like that, I would do. But when I'm just reading for myself, I just like to enjoy the experience. I don't like there to be any extra work involved. Sometimes I will tab pages, but for the most part, I just read without any note-taking or any highlighting of any sort. So that is it. Those are the 11 questions of the Reading Habits book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed those questions and my answers to those questions. I would love to hear some of your reading habits in the comments below. Look, there's like a little tail sticking up in the background. And before I go, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to one of my best friends, Rowan. She has a YouTube channel called The Disney Damsels, and if you guys have come from there to here, you know that I was also a part of the Disney Damsels channel, and me and Rowan used to make videos all the time talking about all things Disney, and she came out with a video the other day reacting to my new separate channel, and it was such a sweet video. She was talking about how much she supports me and how proud she is of me, so I just wanted to thank her for putting that out there and, you know, just thank her for getting me into YouTube, because if it wasn't for the Disney Damsels channel, I obviously wouldn't be here making my own booktube channel. So I just wanted to shout her out and say thank you, and that is it for the video. I wish you guys could come in here and be with me. One of you come here. Baby Yoda is making his last little appearance. Looks like he wants to scratch me though. He hates me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day today. Bye guys!